Huh.
Hey guys, it's Dane at Jonah Guitars, and I got a brand new build series I'm going to start uploading. It's about this guy right here, the GECKO, and all of the whole process of building will be covered. It's going to be a very complete series. So I hope you join me, and we'll see you there. Hello, this is Dane, Jonah Custom Guitars, and this is continuing on with the, gosh, what are we going to call this? I don't know that I've named it yet. It's a walnut mahogany Nighthawk. Walnut mahogany Nighthawk copy. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier. It's going to be a 9-string, which means not 9 separate notes in a scale like a 7-string guitar with an extra bass string on it, or a 8 or a 9 for that matter, with extra strings that way, but with harmony strings like on a 12-string. Only just the first 3 high strings. First time I ever saw one of those was an Alvarez acoustic, gosh, probably 35 years ago, and it was great. I was intrigued by it, but I couldn't afford to buy another acoustic guitar at that moment. So anyway, I've been thinking about building one for at least 15 years now. And so, Nighthawk copy, 9-string. It's going to be a set neck, probably in the PRS style of set neckedness. And so, I've been debating the F-hole I'm going to do some weight relief because of the walnut tile. It's not extremely heavy, the mahogany and the walnut. It's not extreme, but I still like to do a little weight relief. And basically, for the amount of wood I'm going to be able to take out, it's not going to be a huge amount of relief anyway. But so, instead of that, I've laid it out quite a few different ways there as to how that might happen, and you can see these lines going, well, this is hard to do backwards in the camera. It's like doing something in the, there we go, these lines that go across here, those aren't happening. I'm going to write them in white here real quick. So well, before I get ahead of myself, I'm also going to do a back contour relief, and you can kind of see this line going up the edge of the guitar from the back, and then the parallel line to this edge here. You can see this parallel line. This is about how deep I plan on going with the relief. So I had to consider where the carve might intersect the hollow parts, you know, in the body, because I obviously don't want to carve too deep. And I decided not to do the F-hole in this situation, because the F-hole needs to be a little farther toward the top of the guitar, right? It needs to be up and start in this area, and I'm afraid that since that's where it's going to be the thinnest as far as the body contour goes, I could have a problem with that. So I laid it out and figured places I'd need to stop my my weight relief holes in order to not carve through. So I'm going to highlight those in white kind of quickly, and make them easier to see here. I don't want to just leave one big hole. Not that I've ever had I have done some weight relief in the past, and I think I have just done one big hole, but I don't want to end up with a problem with like wolf tones or weird things going on. So now you can see sort of the white lines. So in those areas, they're going to go through, and I'm going to leave about 5/16 or so depth in the body. So I don't have a tape measure handy. That means about an inch of material is coming out, drilling out. So I'm going to set up the drill press with a stop. I'll go in with a Forstner bit and pre-hollow areas, and I'll just go back in. Either with just a couple straight edges clamped down to the body and run the router that way, or just freehand it. This is obviously, you know, I don't want it to be ugly, but it is covered up, and you know, nobody will ever see it again. So, and since I'm probably only ever going to do that exactly the same to this one guitar, it's not worth making a template over. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go ahead and set the drill press up, and we'll take you over there and let you see what's going on. All right, so here we are at the drill press. We're going to set the depth stop on this guy down to where I have that line. It's going to be a good trick though. Hold that down and get my depth set as well. Well, maybe I should just clamp that in place. Alright, so I'm thinking that right around there. Okay, so that's stopped right there. So there is ways to do things spastically. Alright, so I'm going to double check that. It's about an 1/8 inch up, so I'm just going to loosen that a little bit. Kind of push past that, and then right there. And then tighten that up. Alright, so got the depth set. I put some center lines through these holes, so what I can do is I'll just drill in and just punch the center line in a few places to hog out the excess wood, rather than just, you know, do all that with the router bit. By the trash can, dump some of this stuff off. Okay, I'm going to reset up then and be at the router, or I might just do that by hand, thinking about it as I was drilling. I may just clean that up with a chisel, call it good. We'll see. Alright, we're back. So I got some chisels. I'm not even going to show you this chisel up close because it's looks more like a saw. It's so dull and jacked up. And I also got a router that decided that since I'm going to put a line through here like the Les Paul, this is not a standard Nighthawk feature by any means, because their you know, pickup selectors are down here with the knobs. The Les Paul you know, is up here. I'm thinking about go ahead and running a channel through here that way, and so I would need the router for that anyway. So I'm not going to freehand that, and I'll just cut it in with the router. I haven't, you know, I'm not completely sold on that yet, but that's probably what I'm going to do. And I haven't decided what kind of pickups I'm doing. I really like P90s, and I really like the P90s that I got from John Williams at Guitar Attack for a previous build, a guitar I play all the time, my own personal guitar. He wants some P90s for that I just really like. So I may just go that route with these. I'm not sure. It's being a spec guitar, you know, you want to try to make sure you make the right decision on stuff so that people will want, you know, to purchase the thing. Otherwise, but so meanwhile, all that yammering, I can go ahead and, yep, crack that out already. clear these out a bit and then drop the router in there. Clean it up that way. So like I said before, I'm not really sure how much weight relief this is going to achieve. I don't even know how to figure something like that out, you know, other than having weighed it previously and then weighing it after the fact. But it can't be, you know, that terribly significant, being that it's just these few little pads here. But I guess a little bit helps. So I've got the line here, it's going across for the pickup selector switch. It's going to go up here on the top, and we'll cut through, you know, like the Les Paul does between the top and the body back. So just going to do that, rearrange the camera so maybe you could see it a little better. Just clamped a straight edge on here, and I'm hoping that I'm remembering this right. You know, for a guy that's run a router most of his life, I'm drawing a blank on which way it's going to pull. I'm pretty sure it's going to pull into the fence. If it starts to walk, I'll have to rearrange things. If it works, disregard that remark. I'm brilliant. All right, I'm going to go turn back on the dust collector and plug my earplug back in. Got a large bit in the drill press here, 1 3/8. It's kind of a quick bore bit for Euro hinges, actually, is what it is. I've used that for my corners when I developed this template for control cavities. So anyway, I ran that groove all the way through, and I wasn't thinking about where that hole was going to line up. I wasn't sure I was going to use that template, so I kind of got ahead of myself. What I'm going to do, though, because I tried the drill and it just wanders, I'm going to go ahead and glue this block in so that the point on the bit has a place to grab and center. Otherwise, they just wander. So, and I'm only going. The drill press only has so much run, so this hole's only going to go so far through, and then I'm going to drill all the way through with a smaller bit to locate on the back, and then I'll drill from the back side so that I don't get a bunch of blowout on the back side or the front. I could have done it on either side, but you don't want to have that blowout. So I'm just using some thick super glue down there in the hole. Throw this block in here. And I could, hand plane the thing down a bit, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. In fact, if I push it back past where the hole's drilled, it won't be necessary at all. And then just shoot a little accelerator on that. Yeah, didn't do it. Let's see if this holds or if I need to do something else. Okay, it's in there now. Let's see if I can get things lined up. I'm going to say that's pretty good right there. Have one big enough that'll check up in this drill press. One problem with this drill press is that it doesn't go real small. So let's see. It's like about 1/8. All right. 1/8 will check up. That's not going to go all the way down. Yeah, yes it is. All right, cool. I've got my homemade drill index. We'll turn